All right, we are live on YouTube for the On the Hunt podcast, episode 61. And tonight we're going to
No.
try to do something that we have not done before, which is actually go live on both YouTube and Facebook. And I do believe on the Facebook side of things, it's going to be Bobby Bless who is going to be broadcasting for you. Bobby, go ahead and turn your microphone on. Tell everybody how you're doing tonight. So YouTube ain't getting nothing from Bobby because his microphone's muted. There we go. There we go. Hey, listen, this is all brand new to us, okay? This is brand new to us. So, Bobby, number one Lions fan, how's it going, man?
Man. No. What's up, everybody?
So, I want to toss it over here to Nate Rucker. Nate is currently in Lowe's, I believe it is. He's shopping. He's shopping while he's doing the episode. Nate, how's it going, man?
What's going on, man? I'm here. I'm shopping. Kind of busy at the moment, but hey, we got to do what we got to do, right?
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Hey,
what are you shopping for tonight, if you don't mind us asking?
A furnace air filter.
Hey, the butler don't go get that?
Huh?
The butler don't go get that?
I don't have a butler to do that part.
He fired the butler.
Damn.
Hey,
because he wasn't butler.
It's like on any given Sunday. Hey, you remember on any given Sunday when the kicker, when the punter was in there on the toilet, and then the guy had to pee? He was like, "He needs you. He needs you."
Oh man, that's one of those scenes that I'm like, did they really need that? It's hilarious, but Reggie,
hey, my brother,
how's it going, man?
Del Ray, can you hear me, brother? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good.
So
I'm
obviously, we are all here after a Lions playoff victory, first one in my lifetime. And for the fellas on the screen, they've seen one of these before, but for me, I'm in uncharted waters. And so I want to go around the room here because I feel like last weekend was a remember where you are type moment. We're always going to remember where you were. That's how I feel about it anyway. So I want to go over to Reggie Funches. Reggie, where were you when the Lions won that playoff game, and what were you thinking there in those last couple of moments?
So I was chilling at the house. I actually had company over, so we were all watching the game. But the people that I was watching the game with were from LA, so that was an interesting experience. So of course, we going back and forth, we talking mess. Know how that go. And things got tight. It got tight. We talked about it. Like I'm telling folks, like, I understand the ire that people may have against Stafford or this, that, and other, but he ain't gonna just fold over, just give it to us. So I'm glad we were able to take it and pull it out. No, pause.
Yeah, pause. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I promise I didn't say anything. But you can't see my face. But I'm laughing hard as fuck.
But like I said, like I'll take it any. I was gonna say I can take it.
There you go.
I'll take it any way you want, Big Daddy. Let's go. Let's
take
go.
It, just don't pull out.
It's all bad, man. It's all bad. Bobby, what was you doing? Obviously, I was preoccupied.
Man, we haven't even gotten 10 minutes into this thing. We're already off the rails. Oh my God.
I was watching the game with my beautiful wife, and just I guess enjoying the actual home playoff game. It's been a while. It definitely was a game like you gonna remember where you was at, but I wasn't crying, man. In the words of the great Kobe Bryant, is the job finished? Job not finished. So that's where I'm at with it. But it's just good to see that we can finally have a quarterback that can win us a damn playoff game. How about you, Nate?
I was at home cheering on Aiden Hutchinson destroy and knock the dog shit out of Stafford. I was I take that back. I was not at home. I was actually working. So I was working at the bar that night, and the bar was rocking. When I tell you the bar was rocking, I'm actually getting ready to head there now. It was rocking. I mean, they had the music playing, but only thing you can hear was the cheering and everything. It was like, forget the music.
Nate, when I
Like,
go on vacation, we might come to your bar just to check it out, man.
for sure, I got you.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
Okay, I know you. I told my wife, she down.
I got you. I promise. But yeah, man, it was great, man. It was a great time. It was awesome to see Jared Goff continue to prove the naysayers wrong, continually to take us to waters that nobody else did. Yeah, congratulations, Money Man Golf. We got to think about that contract now, though. But Eli, it's up. What you got?
So for me, I'm sitting on my couch here in Messina, New York. I'm watching the game with Slinky Dog and Cassandra, as I usually do. Cassandra's got her Lions shirt on. I got my Lions shirt on. I got my Lions hat on that Bobby Bless gave me. And I'm just sitting there watching this game, and I'm hoping that things go well. That's what I'm hoping for, because we never trailed in that game, as far as I remember.
Nope.
But there were some moments where it was like, uh-oh, what's about to happen here? And so that was what I was concerned about. That's what I was looking at. And I got to be honest with you, when Amon-Ra caught that last catch on 2nd and 9, I didn't realize we had won the game just then. I didn't realize, because I was like, uh-oh, we still got to get another first down. Then all of a sudden I see that sweet victory formation come out, and it hit me. Like, it hit me
with
like
2 minutes left.
Right.
Like, you go to victory formation with 2 minutes.
I know. I know that's your favorite play, Bobby. But like I said, for me, I didn't realize that was the game winner. And during the post-game press conference, Jared Goff was talking about the fact that he didn't realize that was the game winner either. He was shocked when he saw victory formation come out, because he went, oh, we just won the dang game. Okay. So in that moment, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not the only one who felt that way. But obviously on those last couple of victory snaps, I just kept thinking to myself, Lord, please do not let this man drop the snap. I'm like, because that would be horrifyingly, bad. And he didn't drop the snap. And more importantly, I think it's important to start the show off with this. He checked off all the boxes for me. If you remember from a few months ago, what I put out there as a fan talking about Jared Goff, I said, we need to win consistently. That box was checked. We need to win the division. That box was checked. We need to win a playoff game. That box was checked. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm good. I'm good on the, Jared Goff contract talk. I feel like that is a great conversation to have. And I know his agent feels the same. And his agent believes that his client deserves top tier quarterback money, which is what I also said a few months ago as well, that would be the situation if he was doing things that had never been done before or hadn't been done in a very long time. This Lions team, by the way, with 13 wins, no other Lions team has ever done that before. So we are literally in uncharted waters when it comes to amount of wins in the season.
No, that's accurate.
That is accurate.
That is cold.
Team.
Because the 91 Lions won 12 games in the regular season and they won the playoff game. That's 13, sir.
Did they do that though?
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. I was fine.
They did.
Let me see, because I'm curious.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And then we lost to Washington 52-6.
Okay. Well, hey, since that 91 team, I don't know. Any of the 13 winners I don't know about, Bobby? I mean, I'm trying to give you guys love, and you see with the technicality.
Yeah. I'm the number one Lions fan. No, go ahead, man.
Anyway, what I was saying is that Jared Goff's agent, he is very aware of everything going on right now. He says his client deserves top tier quarterback money. So that's going to be the next conversation is, do you pay Goff the money, or do you pay the people around Goff? That's going to be the next conversation that happens, which I already told y'all was coming 4 months ago. I said that was coming. So, but for me, I said in order for me to be cool with it, he had to win on a consistent basis. He did. Win the division. He did. Win a playoff game. He did.
He did.
Now, if he ends up winning the Super Bowl, don't even bother handing him the Lombardi trophy. Just hand him the big old bag of money because he ain't going anywhere. All right. That's my personal opinion, but I want to send it around the room. Obviously, that was a big win last weekend. So let's start off with the #1 Lions fan. You know, Bobby Bless. Bobby, does he deserve top tier quarterback money? Are you ready to write that check?
You welcome to all you damn Goff haters. I want to let you know that little curve of actually winning a damn playoff game is not a mountain. It's a curve. And yes, he deserved the money. I don't know if we blank checking him. I don't want to be in the same situation we were in before. Long as it's reasonable, you know what I mean. But I'm not the numbers guy. That's Reggie. So I'm gonna let him deal with the numbers part of it. But long as he ain't
$200 million
ever, you know what I mean. I'm down with it. And then I'm also, because the way Brad Holmes picking, I'm pretty sure this has already been on his board. You know what I mean, Elijah? It was him trying to be able to keep a solid team around Jared Goff and paying him. So I'm interested to see how that worked. And as we all seen Brad Holmes the other day in that elevator, he's serious. So, yes. But I'm just happy that Jared Goff was able to defeat his demons. It's not a humbling thing to put your heart into something, especially even in the workforce, and be told that your service is not good enough. So to be able to,
oh, that's some fucked up word.
Yeah, to be able to tell him his service not good enough. He took him to the Super Bowl. We have a lot of teams that's never even been to the Super Bowl. So the door was kind of slammed in his face, to be honest. And it's just good that he was calm, cool, and collective. Because a lot of times with that much venom in your heart, it deters you. He was able to be under control and be lethal, and that's the special thing. And being the quarterback of any NFL team, let alone one that's in the playoffs, you got a mic in front of you. It's so easy to just pop your shit, as we say, Elijah. And he never did that. So I respect him as a businessman. He's here to handle business. And even if it's personal, he talking about it at home. He ain't talking about it outside them doors of his house. So I respect him for that. And shout out to the look on McVay's face. I think Goff won. So
let's toss it over to Nate. And I want to give Reggie some time because I know Reggie is our numbers guy, and I'm sure he's.
Hey, well, go ahead and pass it to Reggie first.
No. I want to give Reggie some time to figure out the numbers. The question I got for you, Nate, isn't about numbers. It's about, do you believe? And Nate actually is gone. Nate's gone, so he must have gotten to a bad signal. Reggie, I'm gonna buy you some more time here because I want.
No, I got the numbers.
All right. So first of all, do you think he deserves top tier quarterback money, like what his agent is telling him? And second of all, what do you think that contract looks like?
So the question is, what does that number look like? That's the question. When we start talking about top tier, the three highest paid QBs are Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. They each are at 55, 52, and 52 million. I can't pay Goff that. Not in the 50s. Then we got Jalen Hurts at 51 million. Of course, Russell Wilson has his 49 million. We're not going to discuss that because his production is not on par with that.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's at 46 million. Deshaun Watson's at 46 million. Patrick Mahomes is at 45 million.
That's gonna go up.
Now, so, and then you have Josh Allen at 43. So, can I pay him on par with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen? I'm going to say no, personally. And because now another factor comes in too. Penei Sewell needs to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about paying the guys around him.
Yep.
Goff is a QB that's more catered to who's around him, more so than him empowering everybody around him.
Right.
You know, he's not a transcendent QB. He's a good QB. And that's where you got to find the balance in what you're doing. So his next tier is where I think you start looking at to pay him. So yeah, Matt Stafford at $40 million. Matt Stafford has a production, has a ring. So now that's the kind of the baseline that I would start using at his cap.
Okay.
Is at 40 in my eyes. You got Dak Prescott. Of course, we've seen what just happened with that. Daniel Jones, we just seen what happened with that. Aaron Rodgers, we just seen what happened with that. Kirk Cousins, let's see what happened with that. So now between 35 and 40 million, possibly creeping to the 42. Now I think that's where the number would be. If we're logical about what we're paying him. So that's the kicker. Like we got to be eventually. Amon Ra's gonna get paid. Penei Sewell's gonna get paid.
Right. You're not gonna have money to pay everybody. Somebody, and again, I
and
understand
then
some Lions fans are gonna be upset about the fact that we're talking about this right now, but it's important. Reggie, go ahead.
So now you start looking at other guys that are way up under him. We're seeing what Jordan Love is doing right now. He's of course, still on his rookie contract, $13 million. You got Trevor Lawrence at $9 million. CJ Stroud, oh my God, at $9 million. Because of course he's still a rookie.
Right.
And Tua Tagovailoa, he's gonna eventually get his big contract. That's coming up. So I would say there's gonna be a new round of people getting contracts that might set a good baseline for Goff.
Mm-hmm.
We got about what we think his top will probably be. You can't pay him more than Josh Allen and Mahomes. I just don't see that. I can't see
that. Super Bowl included. I'm just throwing that out
Super
there.
Bowl included.
Okay.
Well,
No. So Super Bowl throws things off. I will tell you that.
Okay.
A Super Bowl throws things off. I'm not going to hold you up on that front. If that man, so this is my thinking, and I think we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When it comes to what Goff has done so far, Goff took a team to the Super Bowl, right? So in my eyes, he has to do the same thing.
True.
Like the one playoff game, you're supposed to do that because you've done that before with a good team around you. This is another good team that's around you. So I need at minimum an NFC Championship game. At minimum. But you got to the Super Bowl, bro.
Right, Jarnell. I feel you.
And you can't be the reason we lose if that's the case. Like, let's say we just make it to the NFC Championship game and he balls out and he's not the reason why we lost. I think you had to give him his extension.
And I just want to hop in for a second again, just to kind of establish what I've been saying. And if folks are tuning in on Facebook Live for the first time and you can't see me, I'm Elijah. Second thing, okay. Again, my criteria for Jared Goff was very simple. Consistently win, they've done that. Win a playoff game, they've done that. And the third thing that I had on the list was win a Super Bowl and you're a Lion for life. There's no conversation. Like if he wins a Super Bowl, there better not be a conversation about who's going to be the next quarterback. That conversation's over with if he wins the Super Bowl. And I tell you what, I've been saying since April, it's going to be Buffalo and Detroit in the Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching the Buffalo Bills game against Pittsburgh. And what do I hear Tony Nance and them say? It might be Buffalo and Detroit for the Super Bowl, believe it or not. Nobody thought that. I'm like, bullcrap, I thought that. I've been saying that since April. But anyway, but for me, for Goff, like I said, you know, he's checked off all the boxes for me. The only box left to check is win the Super Bowl. And you give him whatever he wants if he wins that Super Bowl. He ain't going to want it like that, because I think Jared Goff is the type of person that wants to see, yes, he wants to get paid, don't get me wrong, but he wants to see everybody else get paid too. Because as much as the Lions have history paying a quarterback and not paying the people around that quarterback, Jared Goff has that type of history too, if you look at the Los Angeles Rams. Because the Rams paid him and didn't pay everybody around him, and he saw what happened to that team. So I think both sides might be willing to, you know, move towards the middle, if you get what I'm saying.
That's the kicker for me, Elijah. Like one of my boys, he's a diehard Lions fan for, you talking about 45 plus years, and the first thing he put in our chat was, Goff might have to give us a discount, and he said. And I'll tell you why. He said because the guys that's around him, the guys that's making it to where he's successful, plus you just made mention of what happened in LA. Is he a transcendent QB to where I can throw anybody around him and we can be successful? He's not that. We all can. I mean, that's not who he is. But if he could find that sweet number where he's satisfied with what he gets, and we're capable of bringing everybody back, that's where we really want to be. But that's up to Holmes and Goff.
Right. Question real quick. Posed from one of our good friends, Jarnell. He's on Facebook Live. And this is a damn good question, actually. Do y'all think it was a mistake not extending him earlier this season? We would have got him for a hell of a lot cheaper.
No. I'm gonna say no on that, because I feel like
it's a no for Elijah.
I feel like not because, you know, it motivated him to play the way he's currently playing. I think he would have been playing the way he's currently playing regardless, because he's that dude. But I will say that if you signed him earlier in the season, I think it would have been a distraction. You know, I think waiting until the end of the season is what's best. And I think if you got to pay a little bit more because of that, that's okay. But remember, just like Jared Holmes, not Jared Holmes, my goodness, Jared Goff, just like Jared Goff has boxes that needed to be checked off, Brad Holmes does too. Brad Holmes, he's checked off for me anyway, the free agency box. He's checked off for me the draft box. I mean, right now, everybody's talking about how great Brad Holmes is in the draft. Now he's getting to a part of his general manager career, because he is a first-time general manager, where he's never been before. And that is, now all that talent that you drafted is coming up for a contract. How do you handle that? How do you handle that? And so that's where it's going to be interesting what happens, because, again, Bobby said earlier about the draft, and I forget Bobby's exact wording, so Bobby, forgive me. But one of the things that I think Brad Holmes did, as much as he loves Jared Goff, I think he drafted Hendon Hooker in case everything went south. Because if everything went south, then okay, we gave Goff a shot. It didn't work out. The team did not gel the way we thought it was going to. Now we can use a rookie quarterback that we don't have to pay a whole lot, and we already got some pieces around the puzzle. Let's try it a different way.
Right.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that part at all.
Well, Nate, you popped back on here, my friend. You missed the conversation, so let me turn it over to you. The first question is, do you pay Jared Goff top-tier quarterback money like his agent says they want? And if not, why?
Okay, well, first of all, Reggie, where did Jared Goff rank in total yards?
Number 1, wasn't it? Or no, 2.
Number 2. Okay. Now,
yes.
where did Jared Goff rank in touchdowns?
He's up there. It was 2 again, wasn't it? No. It's up there though.
Right. He's top five in touchdowns, top 5 in yards, top 5 in completions. Completion percentage. So if I'm getting top 5 numbers plus winning,
Yes.
then absolutely you pay me. My thing is you just can't throw anybody in at that position. That's the one thing you cannot do. But what we don't want to do is give players around the league the perception that you can come here, you can play, you can do your job, be good at it, and then we don't take care of you.
Yeah, that's right, Nate. Good point.
That's what you don't want. Because remember, he was already pretty much thrown away when it came to Matthew Stafford. Remember, they called him a poor man. And he said on the national TV,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think I'm not a poor man's anything. So if you're not going to sit here and BS me with a poor man's contract, if you appreciate what I've done, what this team has done for us breaking so many records and so many streaks behind this torrid franchise, then show me your appreciation. You paid a guy who didn't win shit multiple
So,
$100 million contracts.
What's your number? What's your number?
Me, and I'm looking at 180, between 170 and 180.
So that's that's the number I gave.
Oh, okay. I wasn't on, so I didn't know.
He wasn't on whenever.
Yeah, he's so that would be lower
What
than
the fuck?
It'll be lower than Mahomes and Josh,
Right.
and on par with Stafford, Prescott, because it'd be a little bit above them.
But we all
Okay,
agree. We all agree the Super Bowl is an escalator, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying if they.
I'm not going. No, well, here's the thing. I think you, number one, if I'm putting you right behind Mahomes and Josh, to me that is your escalator, because I'm putting you behind. I'm putting you
efficient. He done had the most turnover since he been in the league. So that I'm just saying that's different.
Right. So I mean, I'm already paying you behind, arguably 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league, but I'm putting you above
in line with their number.
Right. So no, I mean, yes, you know what? I mean, we can give you, when it comes to your signing bonus, we can throw you a little bit more on that signing bonus side, but your contract, no, I want you to stay in between 170, 180. We can throw some.
It's a 3.
So I will throw this out there. So an argument can be made by his agent because of the guys that they did put ahead of Mahomes and Allen, with Watson, Murray, and Wilson. That's where the argument for his agent
but the crazy part is, all 3 of those guys were terrible, and all 3 of those contracts were right. But the thing was, all 3 of those were argued across the league as being too hefty in the first place.
Mm-hmm. But so it's still set to market. That's why I say it's
right.
I mean,
so basically, his agent's going to come in where they got paid.
Yes.
And then we got where Josh Allen and Mahomes are paid, and then you got Stafford and Prescott, right? The gap is in between there. What's the sweet spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
be in between 40 and 49 million.
Right. Which to me, again, you want to show him some love. You want to show him, the appreciation. You're going to make sure that, hey, this wasn't a one-time thing. Yeah, we had a great season, and he's done it again. Like, hey, he took another team to the Super Bowl, regardless what his numbers were. He still was the leader of the ship. And
that's the other. So the argument has been made about Stafford, saying you paid the guy, but you didn't pay everybody else. And then you're talking about paying the guy and not paying everybody else. So that's
but
and that's why I say you gotta.
well,
That's
I won't
on
say
one
they
thing is
didn't
it brings
pay.
another tier in the conversation where you're saying, okay, look, you're this. We've been successful because of what this team is. Do we want a
No,
repeat of what happened in LA? Or do we want to try to extend this as far as we can?
well, I won't say they didn't pay everybody else because remember, Megatron had 130 million on the books. Stafford had 100+ million. Then they still had, but remember, not even Sue. Sue's contract, but Sue was still on his rookie deal. But then they had the added guys on top of that. We can't forget Burleson's contract. You can't forget how much they were paying the guys on that defense at the same time. Guys was making 10 to 18 million.
So what I'm saying is the narrative that's been created is that Stafford was paid and it didn't pay anybody else. That's not really the case because we just talked about it. But what I'm saying is we don't want to have a situation where Goff's reputation goes down the drain too, because they're saying, okay, what about us? We the guys that help you get there. Are we gonna get the number that we need to make sure that we stay on this team and that we're successful? So that's why I say Brad Holmes has got this is really about to show you how great Brad Holmes is.
And my thought on that, they didn't see the problem wasn't not paying the guys. The problem was they didn't get nothing for them guys. So now, me personally, if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm going to roll the dice that I can draft another St. Brown. St. Brown was a round pick. So, he wasn't highly touted. Maybe Brad Holmes got a guy that ain't, you know what I mean? Maybe we got to also factor that he's a superior scout. And all if rookies are best players on the league, on the team, and he willing to get rid, lose one of these guys, but get something for them type. So,
and as I say, this is where Holmes is gonna have to. This is where he's gonna make his money, because it's unprecedented for our team, but he's seeing this happen in LA, so he can basically use as a baseline, as an understanding of what could happen if I do this way, and what can happen if I make adjustments to what happened. Before.
Just like he traded TJ Hawkins. A lot of people thought that shit was crazy. Me personally, I didn't. But I think the fact that not that they didn't pay Sue, they only didn't get nothing for him. So we got highly touted assets, and we're not going to be able to pay. But Brad Holmes is the draft guru. He's trading these highly touted commodities for more ammo in that draft. And that might be his game plan,
And what you just saying that he could also do that at the QB position. And that's why I say that's
maybe.
So
it's up to him. If that number come in too stupid, you like, dog, I can't do that and not get my guys back in here.
No,
I think we can all agree. Obviously, this is going to be a conversation that continues on into the off season. Yeah. The good news is we're not in the off season. We still got games to play. So let's talk a little bit about the games coming up. Now, I want to start this conversation off by pulling something up here on our screen for everybody to look at. So let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to share my screen so that everybody can see what I got over here. And this was interesting to me. Now, I gotta mention this before I put this on the screen, okay? One game against a team does not equal the same thing happening the next time you play them, all right? I think we all know that. We're all smarter than that. We know that, okay? But we beat Tampa Bay earlier in the season, 20-6, and on that 20-6 victory, if you're looking at the screen right now, we were missing the following players, okay, from that game. Going into that game, I should say. Brian Branch was out with an ankle injury. Jahmyr Gibbs was out with a hamstring injury. Jonah Jackson was out with an ankle injury. Zonovan Knight was out with a shoulder injury. James Mitchell was out with a hamstring. Emmanuel Mosley was out with a knee injury. Josh Pascal was out with a knee injury. Sam Laporta was questionable in that game with a calf injury.
Shit.
The fact that David Montgomery got ruled out in the second quarter. It was only J-Mo's second game of the season, and Charlie Gardner-Johnson was on IR. And yet, with all those things, we beat Tampa Bay 20-6. Now, again, I understand, and the fellows will tell you, that beating a team once does not equal automatically beating a team twice. But I want to go around the room right now, and we'll start off with Nate, because I know Nate's trying to do multiple things at once. Nate, 20-6, that was the score of the last game. We were missing all those players. How much better do you think this Lions team is now than we were back in week 6 when we beat them 20-6 in their place?
We're definitely better, but I'm not gonna get shy away from it. So is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense is a lot better than than what they were as well.
Yeah, they stopped that. They stopped that play I wanted to get removed.
That damn tush push. But at the same time, like I said during the last game, nobody scored more than 30 points a game, more than 30 times than us. It's us and it's Miami. Scoring 30 points per game. Scoring 30 points in the game. Our defense has only gave up 33 times this year. So to me, our offense against any offense, I'm gonna take it. So I still think we in a good spot, regardless. I'm taking us. I think that 12-man, that new Ford Field crowd is gonna be stupid, and there's gonna be a lot of stupid boy mistakes. So I think we get it.
Reggie, same question for you. We were missing all those players back in week 6. We know it's a little bit of a different story for both squads now, but how do you feel about this one?
Are we better? Definitely. I'm going to say that because we're healthy. We're healthy, and we got chemistry that's been developed. I always say the two things you can't calculate is health and chemistry. But right now, we got it in spades right now. Same thing happened with Tampa, though. So they got healthy. They developed their chemistry. Are they going to be easy out? No. I was looking at the schedule. So at one point they were 3-5, right? Then they went 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 4 afterward. So in the teams that they beat in that stretch, they beat Atlanta, at Atlanta. They beat Green Bay, at Green Bay. They beat Jacksonville at home. And they beat Carolina at Carolina. And what that does is it shows that they got their momentum. And you also see that Mayfield played better, as the season came to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is going to be funny because they have a strength where we have a weakness.
And what's that?
So in our secondary versus their wide receivers, we have a weakness. But the thing is, we've had a weakness there all year. And we've seen that come to fruition with, Puka last week. We saw what CeeDee Lamb did to us.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, that doesn't scare me because we also show that we can get timely stops. I need to see I really need to see our D-line get after it, get Mayfield frazzled, because we know what happens when Mayfield gets happy feet.
Mm-hmm.
And And the same thing that I said about, playing against, the Rams. Run the ball, keep them on the sideline, converting the red zone. And this is a game that we can win. Stick to what you know. Make it to where golf doesn't have to throw 35 to 40 times in order to go into a shootout. We don't want a shootout. We want to control the pace of the game. We want to see him making timely throws, completing third downs, moving the chains, slowing the game down, and pounding it out. Pause.
Oh man. So before I toss it over to Bobby, I just want to kind of elaborate on what Reggie said. So I have never seen, in all my years of watching football, I have never seen a team give up so many yards to a wide receiver and then turn around and win the game. And in the last 5 weeks, and you can go back further than 5 weeks, okay? You can go back if you want to, but I'm just looking at the last 5 weeks. Every single team that has played us has had a wide receiver go over 150 yards receiving. Every single team has. And yet in those 5 games, we're 4-1 with the chance of being 5-0 if the referees don't screw the last 2-point conversion up for us. I've never seen that before in my entire life of watching football, because normally somebody gets, going for that many yards, it's game over because somebody else on that team is also playing well. But here's the thing, with Puka getting all those yards, okay, here's what was completely forgotten about by most analysts when it came to that Rams game.
Go Lions.
Where was Cooper Kupp? Cooper Kupp had 5 catches for 27 yards. That's what he contributed. 5 catches for 27 yards. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that it was a strategy to let Puka go off for a record number of yards by a rookie or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if you were going to let one guy beat you, are you going to let the veteran Cooper Kupp do it? Or are you going to let the rookie do it? So I'm just saying, for Aaron Glenn's defense, it's very odd to me because I've never seen a team, as I just said, give up that many yards on that consistent of a basis and yet win almost every game. That to me is crazy. But the other thing that I wanted to bring up, and then I'm going to toss it over to Bobby, I wanted to bring up these rushing yards because I don't think Aaron Glenn's defense gets enough credit for this. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now so everyone can see what I'm looking at.
Against the run.
So here's the deal. Against the run, I'm going to read these out here so that you got it for the Facebook Live audience who can't see it.
Yeah, he really reading out these numbers. Go ahead, brother.
Week 1, and these are the leading rushers for these teams in these games against the Lions. Week 1, Pacheco, 8 carries, 23 yards. Week 2, Walker, 17 carries for 43 yards. Week 3, Robinson, 10 carries for 33 yards. Week 4, Jones, 5 carries for 18 yards. Week 5, Hubbard, 9 carries for 35 yards. Week 6, Buccaneers, White had 7 carries for 26 yards. Week 7, Edwards had 14 carries for 64 yards. Week 8, Jacobs for the Raiders had 15 carries for 61 yards. Week 10, we had Eckler for the Chargers, 19 carries, 67 yards. Week 11, the Bears, Herbert had 16 carries for 35 yards. Week 12, Dillon, 14 carries, 43 yards. Week 13, we played the Saints, Kamara. You know how dangerous Kamara is. 14 carries, 51 yards. Week 14 against the Bears, 11 carries for 50 yards for Foreman. Week 15 against the Broncos, Pirine, 6 carries for 37 yards. Week 16, Chandler, 8 carries for 17 yards for the Vikings. Week 17, the Cowboys, Pollard, 16 carries for 49 yards. Week 18, Chandler for the Vikings again, 12 carries for 69 yards. And the wild card game, Williams, 13 carries for 61 yards. I read all that to say this. Did you notice any 100-yard rushers at the running back position No, because we didn't have any. No one's been able to do that against this Lions defense. And that to me is where I don't think this Lions defense gets nearly enough credit, because I just read out a lot of talented running backs. It's not like we're playing a bunch of bums, or as Bobby would so eloquently put it, a bunch of dentists and doctors and plumbers. Okay. We're playing some real people. And yet when it comes to running the ball, they can't do it against this defense. They
Yes,
can't.
sir.
And so you factor that in with the fact that we're giving up all these yards to the receivers and yet still winning the game. It's an odd thing. It's an odd thing for me, because the defense is dominant in certain areas, leaky in other areas, and yet we're still figuring out ways to win. Bobby, I want to toss it over to you, man. Obviously, this discussion started with all the injuries that we had playing against the Buccaneers, but just your general thoughts on this game.
Yeah, just real quick though, Elijah, not to even just keep going. The quarterback that was throwing it to Puka Nacua, notorious for locking on to the same receivers, spamming them. So that is a no. And why running after damn cornerbacks is Jerry Jacobs and fucking Sutton. So, but anyway, I think we're gonna I think of course I think when you play a team a second time, it's always hard to beat teams multiple times in this league. But I also feel like just recently you added this with your list of who was injured during the game, Elijah. It's almost like we bringing another team to the game. So,
Right.
So I'm with you with that for sure, because I did not remember. I knew Gibbs didn't play, because I remember Craig Reynolds was the guy, because we was all working. We didn't have no back, and he got that block in that game. So, but we didn't have James Houston. I want to add that in there, of course, because he's coming back. So we might have a little different hand. And you also said we didn't have Gardner Johnson, whatever you want to call himself this year. But I think it's a winnable game. Just sitting back before the playoffs started, looking at the brackets. If you would have told me we'd be playing Tampa at home, I wouldn't have believed you. So it's interesting to see that we even getting a second home game. So we're playing them at home, and everybody know over the course of just Dan Campbell, Lions is a better team at home than on the road. So it's not a cold game. So our guy that we want to give all this money to won't be wearing gloves. So it's interesting to see how we going to come through. But I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson not going to come in there with the same game plan as far as offense-wise, mainly because from what you was reading with the injuries, he was handcuffed. That's probably one of his better games. I think calling the offense, being that we were missing so many pieces. And if I'm not mistaken, was there any linemen hurt that game too? Or
yeah, Jonah Jackson was not playing. He was out.
Our main trench digger. So of course I'm interested to see what we're gonna do with Mike Evans and Godwin, because watching them and watching these other guys is very scary, man. But I think from even with the diagrams you was showing, the Lions offense is so efficient. It's almost like these guys are scoring too quick, giving us the ball back, giving us the ability to control the clock. So that plays in the hand too, because you can score too damn quick. And we get the ball, we having these long drives, we running, we physical, we wearing these teams out, these teams' defenses out. So I see us continually doing that. I'm interested to see how they're gonna block Vita Veda again, because he's a problem, man. He's a big ass dude that he's one of the best in the league at his position. Excuse me, damn near the best. So I'm interested to see all of that, but I got faith in this regime now. I feel like I feel like it's not the same old Lions no more. We got that. That's off our chest. That's that we. And then, like one of my guys said on the live, actually, Jarnell, Jared Goff got that big old gorilla off his back too. You know, the Rams. So you never know how he might upgrade his play. So it's. And then we got this defense, Aiden Hutchinson. You see that damn spin move? It's starting to catch fire. So,
right.
We
So
got.
I gotta interject.
Yeah.
Last week can't be Golf Super Bowl.
Right.
Last week cannot be his Super Bowl.
Job finished.
Once our expectations are higher now.
Yeah.
You want to get paid,
right?
You want to get your money. You want to justify whatever it is that didn't happen to you. You got to deliver, homie.
Yeah.
Like, we can't sit up here and poo-poo what a guy's done for 12 years, however way you want to view it, whether it's negatively or positively, and then turn around and say, well, I just beat the guys that got rid of me. Meanwhile, the guy that you got traded for won the Super Bowl. You can't do it that way. You got to take us to the same place, bro.
Right.
So,
same expectations.
My concern, to kind of get into the concern part of the show, as I always do, my concern is I'm looking at our offense from this Rams game.
This dude.
So first half of that game, we put up 21 points. The entire second half, we put up a field goal. That was it. So I know, and again, I said it earlier, we never trailed in this game. So I promise you, I'm not trying to create a narrative here. But that second half production from the offense, that can't happen again.
Right.
That certainly can't happen against the Buccaneers. It can't. We cannot just score 3 points in the second half. We got to put pedal to the metal, and we got to get it done. And the Rams, to their credit, they made adjustments, and that's what ended up making it to where we only got 3 points in the entire second half. But that is a concern to me because when our offense is on fire, nobody's beating us. Nobody.
And let's just be honest, like, yes, is our run defense good? Absolutely. Run defense is absolutely good. But we give up so much passing, and some teams just abandon the run. like why would I start?
Well, I don't know that it's necessarily abandoning the run. I think they abandon the run because they can't do it against us. Because
the other factor is our team is scoring so much that you got to keep pace with that, and running the ball ain't going.
Right.
Honestly, they ain't gonna do it.
But you also got to remember, they give up them passing yards intentionally. And when think about it, there's only one guy. You're not going to be we're going to let you have one guy because and this is what it is, and we've seen it the last 5-6 weeks of the season. That one guy can have over 100 yards. The next guy has 40. So if you think you can win that way, by all means, continue to try, because it's different when you have 5 guys with 70+ yards.
Yeah.
Because then everybody is a weapon. But if you have one guy that's doing all this, everybody else isn't in the flow. This is when you have mental lapses, you have focus lapses, you have drop passes, you have misran assignments because guys aren't getting the ball, so they're not even expecting it. So I get it. Like, a lot of people may not like it the way it looks, but this is why I give Aaron Green credit and why he was voted where he was. Like, listen, we're going to run a shell, and think about it. We're doing this without a true number 1 corner. Cam Sutton is a number 2 at best.
3.
And that's really pushing.
Right.
Cam Sutton, my bad, is a number 2 at best. So we're going to sit here. We're going to run this shell. You're not going to run the ball on the ground. We're no longer that team. There is no running the ball for real. So you could go ahead, take your shots with one guy and see what that gets you.
Yeah.
A lot of unsuccessful third downs.
And I will say it sounds like an echo in here because Nate's popping in and out, by the way. Nate's popping in and out because he is at his job. But Nate, I was telling everybody, I said for all the yards Puka got, Cooper Kupp had 27. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, great minds think alike. But as far as my other concern in this game, and it's really not that big of a concern, it's just which Baker Mayfield shows up. You know, we talked about this on the show before. How Baker can show up and he can look like he can throw with anybody. And then there's other games where he shows up and it's like he can't hit the broadside of a barn. So it's all about which Baker Mayfield shows up in this game. But I will say, out of my choice of two quarterbacks to face, Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield, I wanted Baker because I wanted no part of Jalen Hurts. Because if they somehow, and they never really were in that game against the Buccaneers because they fell off the wagon, but Jalen Hurts probably would have hurt us pretty bad with all his running because that's what mobile quarterbacks seem to do to us. So I was much happier finding out Baker Mayfield was going to be the guy. Now, I got to do this because I did it last week and it seemed to bring us some good luck. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. Last week, I went 5-1 in my wild card picks. And if it wasn't for Miami, I would have went 6-0.
So you picked all the home teams.
No. Last week I picked the Packers to beat the Cowboys. They did. I picked the Lions to beat the Rams. They did. And like I said, I picked all the winners except for Miami.
Okay, I got you.
I picked all the winners except for Miami. So here's my picks for this week. I'm going to go fast on this. I am picking the Houston Texans to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And I know everybody's going to tell me that I'm crazy for that. They're going to tell me that I'm crazy for that. But I am picking the Texans to beat the Ravens. The reason why, CJ Stroud, he's got my respect. Because I thought he was going to be like every other Ohio State quarterback. And what changed my mind was his game against the Georgia Bulldogs, where he went in there and had Ohio State with a chance to win the game. And then what he's done this season. He has not looked like a rookie one time this season, other than in the preseason. This kid looks like he's a 5-year vet, and something special is being developed there in Houston. DeMeco Ryans deserves a lot of credit for that. He deserves a lot of credit for that. That defense for Houston, listen, Joe Flacco and the boys over there in Cleveland, they couldn't do hardly a dang thing against it. And I know everybody's going to come at me and they're going to say, the Ravens are so great at defense. But you know what? Cleveland had one of the best defenses in the league. And CJ Stroud said, yeah, watch this.
Yeah, Flacco.
I'm telling y'all right now, CJ Stroud and the Texans, they're going to beat Baltimore in Baltimore. And I love Lamar Jackson. I really do. I love Lamar Jackson. But he is not the same when it comes to playoff football. Look it up. It's true. He's got like a 55% completion percentage. Now, it's a different offense now. To be fair to Lamar, it's a different offense now. I used to call him all the time on my radio show, Lamar, do it my damn self Jackson, because he had no help. He's got a little bit of help now, which is nice to see. But I still think CJ Stroud and those Texans, I think they're going to end up beating the Ravens in Baltimore. Moving on to the other AFC matchup, Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. As long as James Cook runs for 50 yards in this game, Buffalo's going to win it. Because Miami should have won that game if they weren't playing on a sheet of ice. So I got Kansas City, by the way, going on the road for the first time in Pat Mahomes' playoff career. I got their playoff season ending in Buffalo to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, which means that the Texans would go to play the Bills in the AFC Championship game. Flip it over to the NFC, because I told you I'm going to go fast on this. In the NFC, I got the Packers beating the 49ers. Why is that? Because right now, the Packers are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I tried to tell people last week, the Packers are not to be trifled with, and people laughed at me. Not on this show, but on my radio show here in Messina. People were calling me saying, we them boys. And all I have to say to them now is, Here we go to the couch. That's right. Because they ain't going nowhere else. All right. So I got the Packers beating the 49ers in this game. When it comes down to it, if you got to have a throw at the very end of the game to win it, I trust Jordan Love more than I trust Brock Purdy. That's what I got for you on that one. Now, with all that being said, Lions and the Buccaneers. I'm picking the Lions. That really should be, a kind of a dumb moment. I'm picking the Lions to win this game. If all of that happens, that would mean we host the Packers at Ford Field for the NFC Championship game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And as y'all know, since April, I have said Buffalo, Detroit, Las Vegas. That's what I got for you. I want to turn it over to the guys, though, to see what they think, what their playoff predictions might be, if they got any. Let me turn it over here to Nate. Nate's been nodding his head in agreement. Nate, what you got?
I'm on par with you. I got the same thing. Literally. Lions. I got Lions, Packers, Bills. Only thing I don't have the Texans. I don't have the Texans beating Lamar. I got Lamar them losing to Josh in Buffalo. Only because Baltimore corners and safety play is better than Cleveland. Cleveland, of course, has a better pure pass rush, but the corner play, Kyle Hamilton now is all pro. He's become what people thought he would be. Yeah, I'm rolling with Baltimore, but I still think it's Bills Lions Super Bowl. Bobby.
I think it's absolutely crazy to think Lamar Jackson ain't gonna beat the fucking Texans. Let's be all the way honest with you. Nothing against CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying, but Lamar Jackson on the tour, y'all seen how he did us? Y'all remember that game? He ain't fucking around this year. Nothing against the Texans defense, but they not no world beaters. They not the 85 Bears or nothing like that. And I'm interested to see how they gonna cover them, their receivers. I think Lamar Jackson got more explosive receivers than CJ Stroud. So I'm not with that. But everything else, I'm chalk with it. You know what I mean? Because I do agree. I do agree with the Packers beating the 49ers. I do agree with the Lions, of course. And I don't know, man. Until I see Pat Mahomes defeated, that's where I'm kind of iffy with, because I got to see Pat go down before I just gonna put my money to it, man. He the type of guy when it seemed like he with the most he run the AFC. So until I see somebody beat Goliath, then I'm really go for the Josh Allen thing. But nothing against Buffalo. They're a really good team. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, and with all said and done, they've really been in the playoffs for about 6, 7, 8 weeks, Elijah. But other than Lamar, I'm with you, brother.
And I will say real quick before we toss it to Reggie, the thing about the Texans defense, I agree with Bobby. They're not a bunch of world beaters. They're not the 85 Bears, but they're a young defense who don't know what they don't know, meaning they play fearless. They play like they got nothing to lose. And in that Cleveland game, I really thought Cleveland was going to give them a run for their money because of how Joe Flacco had been playing. And Joe Flacco, he's seen everything. I mean, he's old enough now. He's seen everything. And that's not an insult. But they were confusing the hell out of him in that game. And that's why I'm saying with DeMeco Ryans, who is a seasoned veteran, as their coach, that defense, like I said, the benefit to them, they don't know what they don't know. So everyone's going to try to tell them, y'all can't do it against Baltimore. And they're going to say, yeah, we can, because they're young and they don't know any better. And I like that type of team. That type of team, I'm going, okay, let's see. And as far as Buffalo is concerned, I get where Bobby's coming from on that too. It feels like Pat Mahomes is taking the place of Tom Brady, where he ain't done until you see all 000s on the scoreboard, and he's losing. So I get that as well. But my thing with that is Buffalo cannot have Josh Allen be the only form of offense they have. That's where they've gotten in trouble before. That's why I said the key is James Cook. If James Cook gets 50 yards, they win the game. Against Pittsburgh, that game was never really in question, but James Cook had 79 yards rushing. He led.
Yeah.
He led.
I ain't ready to unpack yet. I just ain't.
Reggie, your playoff predictions for this weekend.
Lions, San Francisco, Kansas City, Baltimore.
Okay, so that's what
This ain't the kids about to get sent home.
Oh man,
This ain't the time for the kids. Kids about to go in for hot chocolate if they stay in the cold, or they about to go to a barbecue in Cancun because Stroud's gonna look like a rookie. Love just had his Super Bowl last week. So both of them are about to go home. They're about to sit back, think about it, come back in the next year with a sense of accomplishment because they did more than what was expected. But it's time for the big boys. So it's going to be San Francisco. It's going to be Baltimore. I don't trust Josh Allen. I don't trust Diggs right now because of what they've done in the past. So I'm gonna actually go with the guy that's actually won a couple bowls in Mahomes. And I got us beating Tampa Bay because I'm not going to trust Mayfield to do anything against us. Not to the point where we're losing the game.
Okay. Hey, I can respect it, and we'll see what happens. I will say the beautiful thing about where our game is, we're already going to know where we're going, what's at stake by the time we kick off, because that San Francisco Green Bay game will be the night before. So that, to me, I love how that's set up because we don't have to sit there and question it. We already know what's at stake. You know what I mean? And I know Dan Campbell's not going to be having the guys thinking about that, but for us as fans, we can think about that. You know, we can think about, okay, after we win this game, where do we go next? Campbell's going to say, screw all that. We have not won the game yet. We need to win the game.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the game, Bobby had a clip, and I want to make sure that I don't forget to do this here before we hop off for the night. So, Bobby, I want to pull up your clip now so that everybody can see it.
This day of the week where I was happy. Like, oh yeah, I think we on our shit this week. I think we ready. I think we coming to play.
So Bobby is going to go ahead and play for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready, brother. So this is the start of the game, first quarter, first drive. This is how I know we was ready. Look, Jared Goff, he dropped back typical bootleg, but look at Penei Sewell. Look at that triple team with Aaron Donald, and look at this pass. 1, 2, 3 receivers right there on the money. That was the play where I was like, hey, we ready today. Because like we were talking about on last week's podcast, like what was our plans with Aaron Donald? Obviously triple team. We ain't fucking around. So and as like I said, man, it looked like it took the heart out of Aaron Donald. He do. No matter what he can do, he ain't getting past 3 of these guys. But look at Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow, though. Man, they holding their own. So we triple teaming with the other guys, but look at that. That's all pro right there. That's all pro work right there. So they one-on-one, they triple teaming Aaron Donald, and it just really like, because we heard a lot about the Turner kid that's next to Aaron Donald. I didn't hear much about him during the game. I think they took pride in the fact that we're going to triple team Aaron Donald and stop these other guys. But I'm just happy, man, that we came out swinging. I was kind of, we watched games where they either come out just passing, come out just running. They mixed it up this time. And this is let me know when I seen this. I'm thinking this is the first down or the second first. No, this is the second first down of the drive when we got tripping in their side of the field. I was just way more comfortable with the offense because I thought we were going to come out tight, but obviously they let Jared Goff get some easy throws. I wouldn't say easy throws, but they featured. It looks like they featured Reynolds in the first drive to make sure Goff comfortable. St. Brown, he catches a lot of balls. We know the stats. We know what they say, but his security blanket is Josh Reynolds, and as you can see with Josh Reynolds, he's throwing passes he typically don't throw, rocky balls through three guys. So I think we're ready. All hands on deck, and Jared Goff, like my guy Reggie said, man, we want to keep him with that fiery mentality. The job ain't finished, job ain't done yet, like Kobe Bryant said. But I'm ready though. That's Bobby's play of the week.
So as far as one of the things that I wanted to talk about, obviously we got two different streams going on right now. We got YouTube and we got Facebook. So I want to go to YouTube for a second. We got a bunch of people watching over there on YouTube. Want to say hello to Jago. Want to say hello to War to Horseman. I believe I got that right, finally, after all these times of saying it wrong. I want to say hello to comedian Shay B. Hey, thank you everybody for watching on YouTube. Remember to like this video for us. And share this if you can for us. It would be greatly appreciated. YouTube's doing this thing, by the way. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this, but YouTube's doing this thing, by the way, where it'll show us that a bunch of people are watching. And then after we post the video, it'll be like, oh, only 5 people watched. And it's like, no, we were getting batches of 4, 5, 6, 7. We were getting all these views, and it's not showing up on YouTube for some reason. So if y'all could, share this video for us and get other Lions fans to watch, we would greatly appreciate that. War to Horseman, I'm not sure if you were talking about what Reggie said or what I said, but I do want to just make a mention of this. What I'm saying is Bills take care of the Chiefs, Ravens lose to the Texans. If that happens, that AFC Championship game would be in Buffalo because Baltimore would be out. So that's what I'm saying, because War to Horseman had said the Bills would have to go to the Ravens. I don't see that happening because I see the Texans beating them, and the Texans game would then have to be in.
It's unbelievable. It's that unbelievable.
Hey, you know what? I think it's Bill-believable. Anyway, so let's go. On the Facebook Live, Bobby, what comments you got over there that we can give some shout outs to?
Well, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, Patrick Girl Robinson. Green Bay about to go home. ? The kids are going home. Disrespect gotta go, Reggie. What makes you think y'all not about to go home? Let's not forget them kids came into Ford Field and beat y'all. But carry on. Go.
Did we come to y'all house and beat y'all?
Oh no! Oh no!
So,
love you.
It's okay.
Darnell, I love you, sis.
Darnell, he was talking about Aaron Donald and the Rams defense, but yeah, my beautiful wife, she happy.
Oh, I already know. Matter of fact, I already knew. Look, I did that intentionally to put myself on the radar. We ain't had beef in about a year.
Hey, when the Packers won, I don't think she was that happy on our wedding day, bro. So,
wow.
I tell you what. If the Packers lose to the 49ers on the next show, Brenda has to agree to show up, and with whatever lights you got.
She already was planning to come on when the Packers play the Lions. She already ready for
if Reggie's prediction comes true, she's got to agree to come on to the program with her cheese head on and just turn the lights out because it's over with. Okay, yeah. Just turn the lights out. We're going home. All right. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. That's right.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
I got to live.
Here we go to the couch. Anyway, so by the way,
did you see what Tyreek Hill said about my man?
I did not see that.
He said my man blocked me into Cancun.
Oh, you talking about that?
Oh man,
he dude on the pancake. He pancake Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he pancaked him.
Bobby, any other shout outs you want to give on Facebook Live before we wrap this thing up with score predictions?
We always talk about him, and we always be in the real true fans group, you know what I mean? But he had a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of comments. He was talking about he didn't agree with paying Goff early being a distraction. And he also, like I said earlier, he was talking about how Jared Goff got a lot of pressure off his back. So he feel like we might get a different Goff, a better Goff, being that he got that, that monkey with McVay off his back. What else did he say?
It can't be his Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what you said to combat that. And there was one more thing too. Okay, the Rams defense don't got a Aaron Donald, so we should have 3 man on them. No, not in one net.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, let's get to closing remarks here.
Oh.
We're going to start off with Nate. Nate, I need your score prediction for this weekend and your closing remarks.
28-21. Score prediction. Closing remarks. Just continue to go game by game. I'm glad these fans finally understand to leave Dan Campbell alone. Let him coach the way he coached. And for everybody that complained about our draft picks and who we picked, guess what? Send out some apology forms and accept it. I bet y'all don't want to turn them back overnight. So, shit. Reggie, go ahead, doggy.
I'm going to support Nate what he just said. The young boys is carrying us right now. The young boys is producing. They've been producing since the whole second half of the season. Really, Laporta all season. But you throw Gibbs in there, this is nasty. Now you start throwing in Branch. Now you're about to start seeing basically just got the kids playing. That's all that matters right now. So if you got an issue with what Holmes did, you can suck it. And on top of that, it's been well known. I'm not 100% behind Goff. I am. I'm gonna put my team before any singular player. But each week he can make me a believer. Yeah, last week was a step a great step in that direction. But you want to get paid, homie? I'll support you getting paid if we get paid.
We deserve it too. Shit.
Bobby Bless. Your closing remarks and final score, and we do need a final score from you, Reggie. So think about that.
Oh, I'm going to say 30-18.
Damn, Reggie. Mine was somewhere around there. So I'm going to go 35-21 Lions. I'm just thinking, I'm looking for us to be more almost to the step. Job ain't done, but NFC Championship in Detroit sound awfully good. We're a different team at home, and it just show you how the football gods hopefully can work on our side. If we get every playoff game was at home, we was really technically the first seed. So, realistically, the first seed. So, let's keep that happening. We all know we a different team at home. I never cared for Baker Mayfield. The only the guys I'm worried about is them damn receivers. And I was about to say Haloti Nada. What's the dude's name?
Villa.
Yeah, Villa. I don't know where I said Haloti Nada. Villa, but
T-Rex arms.
Huh?
T-Rex arms.
Yeah. Hey man, he balling. He be balling though.
There's the bang doppelganger.
But I think we got this though, man. And as you can see, you know what I wanted to throw out here, just my last quick remark. I did buy a Lions hat this week because there's 2 more hats that I gotta have before I buy another one. If everybody know the correlation. If everybody know the correlation, comment and hit like. How about you?
All right, so here we go. Y'all know I believe, and y'all know that I've been wanting this for a long, long time. So, After getting that first playoff win, I want another. Okay, I'm greedy. I want another. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Lions 28, Buccaneers 10. I think that defense is about to wake up in a huge way. And yeah, you might get some yardage, but you ain't scoring in the red zone. That's what I got for you. I think that was a big step in the right direction defensively. And I think offensively, listen, you score touchdowns. You don't get field goals, you score touchdowns. That's how you win this game. So with all that being said, I want to remind y'all to hashtag Fear Jameer. I want to remind y'all that we're the On the Hunt podcast. And I want to remind y'all that this upcoming week, okay, if you come across a situation where your skill set can make it a little bit better, you now have the responsibility, not just the ability, but the responsibility to do just that, okay, make a difference. And also, every day is an opportunity. So get out there and make every day a little bit better for yourself and those you love. With all that being said, hey, I got to give it up for my guy, Nate Rucker. For Reggie Funches, for the #1 Lions fan, you know, Mr. Bobby Bless. I'm Elijah Winfrey. This is the On the Hunt podcast. Be good.